At 9 o'clock the next morning, Dorian was sleeping. He did not look like a man who had murdered a friend. But when he woke up, Dorian remembered what had happened. He tried not to think about Basil. He thought for a long time about which clothes to wear. He put on his rings. Then he took them off and put on different rings. Dorian ate his breakfast, but he could not forget Basil's body sitting at the table in the attic room. Then at last he wrote 2 letters. He put one letter in his pocket. He told his servant to take the other letter to Alan Campbell's house. Dorian went to the library. He lit a cigarette and tried not to think about Basil. He drew pictures, but they were pictures of Basil's face. He read poems, but the poems reminded him of Basil. Poor Basil, he thought. What a horrible way to die. Dorian became frightened. He thought about Alan Campbell. Perhaps Alan Campbell would not come. Alan Campbell was a very clever scientist. Dorian and Alan Campbell had been good friends for many years, but Alan had not talked to Dorian for 18 months. Nobody knew why they were not friends anymore. Now Dorian needed Alan's help. At last Alan Campbell arrived. He had black hair and a very pale face. He looked very unhappy. Dorian was pleased to see him. "Alan," he said, shaking hands, "it is kind of you to come. Thank you for coming." Alan did not look pleased to see Dorian. "I did not want to come," he said. "I did not ever want to speak to you again. But your letter said it was very important, a matter of life and death." "Yes, it is very important," said Dorian. Then he spoke very quickly. "There's a dead man in a room upstairs. He's been dead for about 10 hours. You must do something for me. You must." "I don't want to know anything about this," said Alan Campbell. "I won't do anything for you. Don't tell me your terrible secrets." "I must tell you this secret," replied Dorian. "You must help me. You are a scientist. You must destroy the body." "No, I will not," said Alan Campbell. "You are mad, Dorian, and I don't care what happens to you." The young man tried to leave the room, but Dorian stopped him. "Alan," he said, "it was murder. I murdered this man, and you are going to help me." Alan Campbell was horrified. He could not speak. Dorian sat down and quietly wrote something on a piece of paper. Then he gave the paper to the young man. Alan Campbell read what Dorian had written. His face became pale. His body started to shake. He fell down into a chair. There was silence. "I am very sorry for you," said Dorian sadly. "We both know what you did. I do not want to tell anybody the truth about you, but I will tell them if you don't help me. I have written a letter, and I will send it." Dorian pulled the letter out of his pocket. He showed Alan the address on the envelope. "Oh no," whispered Alan Campbell. Then, very quietly, he spoke again. "I must go home. I need some things from my house. I need some scientific equipment so I can help you." "You are not going to leave here," said Dorian. "Write a list, and one of my servants will get the things you need." Sadly, Alan wrote the list. Soon Dorian's servant brought the scientific equipment from Alan's house. Then Dorian sent his servant away. Alan Campbell and Dorian carried the equipment up to the attic room. There was a long piece of wire, 2 strange-shaped pieces of metal, and a large wooden box with bottles in it. Dorian unlocked the door and opened it. Basil's body was sitting at the table. Dorian did not want to look. He did not want to go into the room again. But suddenly, Dorian saw that he had not covered the portrait again with the cloth. He ran across the room to cover the portrait. And then he saw blood on the hands in the picture. Bright red blood. The picture was more horrible than Basil's body. Dorian pulled the cloth over the picture quickly and went back to the library. He left Alan Campbell to do his work. 5 hours later, Alan Campbell came into the library. His face was calm and pale. "I have done what you asked me to do," he said quietly. "Goodbye. I never want to see you again." As soon as Alan had left, Dorian went upstairs. There was a strange and horrible smell in the attic room, but the terrible thing sitting at the table had gone.